Okay. It says I'm connected to Facebook and YouTube. That's a good sign. When you hop on, say hi. Hi, Renee. Welcome. And give it another minute or so. We're going to get started. All right. It's 8 o'clock. Hi, Sue. Hi, Rosie. Welcome. All right, guys. I'm going to get started. I'm going to flip the camera down. Tonight, I am making a Thanksgiving sampler. And I'm using a good bit of product here to make it. I brought out my retired owl punch, the 2-inch and 2 3/8-inch circle punches. We're using the nested essential dies. I'm using the one that's right here, and of course the alphabet a la mode. Hi, Tina. I'm using the Impressions of Bloom, just this die here. Okay, you'll see where I used that. And then I had leftovers of the pumpkin and the acorns. So I put them on. I'm using this stamp set, but I'm only using this part, and I'm going to stamp it and show you what I used it for. Thank you for sharing, Tina. For party celebrations, I'm using this. And then I'm using autumn trees with the tree I had left over when I showed you how I did my fall sampler, and I used the daubers and sponged the tree. Okay, so with that being said, I'm going to show you what I used this for, because I already have it put together. But I wanted to show you how I did it. I took Cajun Craze. Oh my gosh, can't think. Crushed curry, old olive, pumpkin pie, and daffodil delight. And I stamped this image here, okay, and then I fussy cut it out. So what I did was I just laid my stamp, not the whole way, just so I could get this part here. I ain't worried about if I get any letters because I'm going to fussy cut it out. And then I'm going to lay it on my paper without dropping it. And then I went and fussy cut the flower out, okay? So I did it in those 5 colors. And let me get and I'll show you what I did. With the 5 colors. Oh, and I missed a die. I used the deckled circles. I used from the center, the second and third one, to make my turkey. And that's using crushed curry, pumpkin pie, daffodil delight, old olive, and Cajun craze. And that's what I did. I stamped on those flowers and fussy cut them out. Okay, to make my turkey. To make the hat, I used, what did I do with them? I used the one in the middle. I just cut the whole thing out, okay? And I cut a little piece off to make his hat. So you see that there. And then I just cut a 1/4 inch for the rim, and I just cut a piece of Daffodil Delight off to make the buckle. And then this is where the owl punch came in to do all that. Okay? All right. That's the turkey. And then I have my pilgrim. 2 1/8 inch circle. Hi, Linda. Welcome. 2-inch circle. Basic black. This is basic beige. Okay. Owl punch. The hair is from that die I told you. From the flower set. I cut 2 of them out. Okay. And I cut some off of each. And this is a piece I cut off to make his hair. Then I used the next size of the this one, the second biggest one. I used that, and I cut off, and then I did another strip of basic black, and then the Daffodil Delight. For the collar, I cut out a 2 3/8 inch circle, cut it in half, and then I did my own collar there. Okay, that is my pilgrim. And then I couldn't stop there. Let me put this away so I don't lose it. I made my Indian girl. 2 3/8 inch circle, 2-inch circle. This is crumb cake. This is basic beige. This is peach pie, and it's just another 2 3/8 inch circle cut in half. And I did it's supposed to look like the fringes or whatever, there. Same way with the circle. I only cut a 2-inch circle in basic brown. This is Timid Tiger. And then for the feather, it is a Timid Tiger. And then I went over with pumpkin pie, and I just cut some lines in there to make it look like I just did my own feather. I didn't use any punches or anything. I just made my own. And then I put some gems on her. And this is the owl punch. But I want to show you how I did her hair right here. I used this stamp from Party Celebration. And what I did was I took pumpkin early espresso, and I inked it up real good. It's not going to be real good for you guys, but I inked it up real good. I fussy cut this out and laid it on early espresso and then cut around it. Okay. And then I cut this part off here. So I had that little point for her hair. But that is how I did her hair. I used stamped 2 of them. Fussy cut them out and then put it on early espresso and fussy cut around that. So that's how I got her long hair here. Okay. I'm messing up my things here. For the tree, I already went ahead, so you didn't have to watch me put Thanksgiving on. I already went ahead and did that. My pumpkin is 3 1 3/4 circle punches. I cut 3 of them out, glued them together, and made my own stem. Okay. And then these are the ones I had left over. And then these are my mats. But before I go there, we're going to fix this one up here. And I need my paper here, because you're going to see what I'm going to do with that tree. I'm going to get my old olive, my blending brush, and this is very vanilla paper. And I'll give you the measurements when I get ready to put it all together. And I'm just going to put this at the bottom. Okay. And then I got Azure Afternoon. Oh, I forgot. I did something for my great granddaughter for school, and I used this for the out edges of a big poster board, and that really used up the ink. And I just remembered I do not have the refill, so we'll make it work to make it darker. I just wanted a little blue up there to make it look like the sky. Okay. And then I get my glue, and I am going to just put glue on half of this tree. All right, I'm not going to play with that. I got a new one here. So I'm going to put this on half of the tree. And then it's going to get laid on the paper like so. Then I'm going to cut this off. And then you just have that tree showing there. Okay. I'm not sure what I'm going to put on here yet, but let's start putting it together. I'm using pumpkin pie 12 by 12. Let me move this all out here. Okay. Trying to get things that have ink on out of my way. Okay. So this will get up here. I don't have it glued, but this will lay up here. Like so. And then this pumpkin that I made myself is going to go here. I'll bring it down a little bit more. Okay. Then my mats. I have some that's with cardstock and some with designer series paper. This one here is 4 by 4.5. That's going to go down here, I think that way. And then this one is 3.25 by 5. That's going to go here. This one is 3 by 3 1/4. That will go on this corner. And then I have 2 3/4 by 3. That's going to go on top here. Hi, Deb. Yeah, I don't understand why. Okay. And then for this piece here, you need a 3 by 4 3/4. So that'll lay here. Then I went and cut 2 mats with the Designer Series paper. This is 3 1/2 by 5, the same as this one. So that'll get laid there. And then this will get on top, which would be 3 by 4 3/4. And then this one here, is another piece of Designer Series paper, 3 by 5. That's going in the middle. And then this would be 2 3/4 by 4 3/4. That will go right there. Okay. My pilgrim's going to go there. My Indian's going to go there. This piece is 4 1/4 by 3 3/4. That's going to be right there. That's where my turkey's going to go. And then this is going to get laid here with thanks up at the top and my acorns there. That's what it is. Okay? So now we're going to glue it all together. And then I might show you a Christmas project. But we'll see. Because it's only been 15 minutes. Alright, let me glue these down. I'll glue everything together and then I'll put it on the 12 by 12. So I'm just putting this on the mat, which is, I didn't tell you that, it's 11 for the early espresso by 1 3/4. And then this would be 10 3/4 by 1 1/2. Okay. That will go there. This gets popped up. We're going to glue these down. Linda, are you home yet? Oh, thanks, Deb. Go there. This is going to go on here. And then this one. And that goes on there. You know, I noticed something different on you guys being on YouTube. In the chat where I see, it has at, I'm going to take Linda Nagel 759, at D Smith 394. I never did like that before. It just had your name. And then put this one down. I don't know if it was the upgrade that my program did or if it's just something YouTube did. but it just showed your name when you were in chat. Now it has at, and then I guess how you're signed into YouTube. Okay. So I am gonna put this one down first. Now it'll get popped up. And this is gonna go like that. I want to even with that top. Put this here. Okay. Yeah, they didn't do that before, Renee. At least on Wednesday it wasn't like that. Oh, I could move that down a little more. Okay. I'm going to do this side. And then we're going to do this one. Okay, and then this one's going to go here. I did that wrong. Oh well. I should have left it the way I was going to do it instead of moving them down. It's okay. We'll make it work. And then I'm going to glue this one down. Okay. I'm going to glue thanks. About right there. Glue this one down. Okay. And then all we need is some dimensionals. And you know what? I got my piece here that I cut. So I am just going to cut some pieces off of here because my dimensionals should be here by next Friday. And these, it's just, this works just the same. She's going to go here. Cutting them this big is a lot easier than doing the individual ones. And he's going to go here. They're stickier than the... Okay, and then next is my And you can see I took him apart a couple of times before I got to what I wanted him. Okay. Put one there, one there, one there. Good enough. He's going to go right here. And then we have my pumpkin. And I'll put him up, up here. Like so. That is my sampler. And if you have any questions about it, need to know more about the sizes of everything, you can let me know. But I sat down, I think it took me all day to figure it out, especially doing this. I sent so many pictures back and forth to my sister Linda. I couldn't do Tina, she was working. So, but yeah, that is my sampler. You guys want to see a Christmas treat holder? I can show you how to make this one. Let me know. The paper I used is from the Gathering Together paper. That doesn't go with this set. Yes, it goes with this. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It doesn't go with that set. All right. I'm going to put this aside and I'll get my paper. And this is using the reindeer from the reindeer kit that I did the scrapbook page on Wednesday. You need a piece of basic white, whatever color you want to use for your box. This is going to be your holder. And that is 6 by 4.5. You're going to score. Let me get my scoring board. On the long side, you're going to score it at 2 3/4, 3 1/4. Okay, that's all you do on that one. And then on the 4.5 inch side, you're going to score it at a 1/2 inch and 4. That's all you do to that one. And let me get my bone folder here. So you're going to burnish your score lines. Okay. And then on your long side where you scored it at 2 3/4 and 3 1/4, you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut right up to that 1/2 inch score line. And you're going to just miter them a little bit. And you're going to do it on the other side. Didn't think I fell off. Okay. That will be our box. Then you will need the branching out dies that comes with this set. And you will need number, I think these are the ones I use. Let me just double check. Nope. That one's probably this one here. Okay, from the outside, from the bigger one, you'll need 2 and 3. Because this one's like this. Okay. So you would need number 2 and number 3 from the outside. If you want to go to the inside, then it would be number 3 and 4. And you're going to cut the bigger ones, and then your designer series paper is the smaller one. And then you need a piece that's a 1/2 inch by 12 for the handle. Okay, so let's put our box together. And what you're going to do, I'm going to use tearing tape. I was going to use glue. Turn your box over to the outside and put a piece of adhesive where on the tabs here. Okay, and then you're going to decide which tab you're going to put the other adhesive on. And I'll tell you what, what I'm going to do is put this little tab on here, no, on the outside, because then I will take this one and go on the other side. That way you don't see it on the inside, which you don't see the inside unless you look. Okay, so let me take the tearing tape off of here. You'll see what I mean. And then before I put it together, I'm going to put on the tearing tape on the side that I'm going to put. I know I'm not making sense. Okay, so if I oh, I didn't do that right. Okay, we're going to put it on the inside. I should have put it on the other side the way I wanted to do it the first place, but that's okay. We can still do it this way. I'm going to put tearing tape on here, and then I'm going to just slide that in. That'll do the same thing. Okay, so let me put tearing tape. Oh, now I'm going to use glue since I put it together. So you just want to put it on this tab here, this side. Come on, it's a new bottle. You shouldn't be clogged. Okay, and then that's going to go on the inside of the box. And this side. Got my fingers in the glue. That way the tabs are in there, you don't see them. It's in between the two sides. Okay, now you're going to put your pieces here together. Just line them up in the center. like so. Bring your box in. This is where the back is. Yeah. I'm going to put my first piece on. This is the front where you can see the seam. I'm putting that in the back. So this would be the front. So I'm putting glue on the box. Make sure you get it at the top. And then you're going to lay that right on the end of the box. So what you're going to do is stand it up, and that will be at the bottom then. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. Line it up at the bottom. And then you want to make sure it's even to the front. Looks good. Yep. Okay. So far, so good. Yep. This way. For the handle, take your bone folder and just give it a little curl. You're going to put glue on this side, but you're not going to do a whole, don't go up too far. That's going to slide all the way down in your box to the very end. Yep, to the very end of the box. I don't have done my outside's not hold yet. And you're going to do the same thing on this side. Slide it in. Take your bone folder and push it down. There we go. And there's your little bag. And it will hold 3 fun-size candy. My great-grandkids and my granddaughter keeps coming down to steal my candy, so I put 3 in the ones I had made, so I had some to show you. And then you would decorate the front. And what I did here, this is from the jar, or no, is it this one? Let me find which one it is. Jar of Joy, wishing you the sweetest Christmas. And then this is from the Branching Out stamp set. And I just cut that die in white. I thought maybe a snowflake on the front here. But that's how you would make those little treat boxes. Gift card would hold, that gift card would hold in there. If you want to put candy and a gift card, that will go in there too. Okay. Thanks, Renee. Oh, yes, that would be, Linda. Duh. Would have been easier too. So that is my treat boxes. This will be one of the projects for my Black Friday gift giving, where they'll be able to purchase, because I'll have a bunch of it. It's like a craft show. And then I'll have some to-go packets with, I don't have the details yet, but last year, I think we had 10 or 11 projects. That was for Black Friday gift giving. And it was a to-go. And I had one of everything in there. Now, we made, I think it was 4 or 5 different size bags. That counted as one. Okay. So you actually get more than 10 projects, but the one was like 5 of them in there. Trying to think what else we had last year. Can't remember offhand. Calendars, holders, gift card holders. So, yeah, I'll have more information on all that. I started making, I think I have like 10 or 11 projects ready that I need to cut the stuff to make them and everything. So, all right. Well, with that being said, here's the other one. These are the ones that my great granddaughter cut the handles and I taped together. That's why this one's all funky. So what I think I might do is cut another piece off and I'll put it, well, this is green, and just overlap it inside. So, all right, I'm going to lay these here so you can see them. This one I'll finish. I'll put a wishing you the sweetest Christmas. I'll put on the front there. So, all right. I want to say thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate every one of you. And I will be back on Monday. If you have anything you want me to do, let me know. If you want more Christmas things, let me know. If you want, you too, Renee, thank you. If you want fall cards, if you want, it's no sense doing Halloween, that's over next Friday. So if there's anything you want to see, if you want me to try to do, let me know. I will be back Monday at 8 o'clock. Thank you for joining me tonight. And don't forget, free shipping is till 11:30 tonight Mountain Time.